I understand we have a solar eclipse now, not a visible here.
Yes, thank God. Yes, we have the solar eclipse on Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but that's the interesting news is that you can't see it from the United States. It's strictly a Southern Hemisphere phenomenon. So, and I'd like to think that this eclipse finishes up the stuff that was started at the August 21st eclipse with all the terrible things happening in the United States, and weather should get better, earthquakes, should stop, children can be singing and happy again. So, and really it's a new moon, and so new moons always indicate new starts. And again, this eclipse cycle started in February of 2017, so it continues what was started then. And where it is in your chart says where you're going to do something about that energy. So for Aquarians, it's about them. It's about them getting their wants and their needs met more so than anybody else's. It's not a high-minded kind of thing. It's a very selfish eclipse for them. And I think that's good for United States women because the moon sign of the U.S. is Aquarius. So it's all about promoting their own efforts and their own energy and getting their wants and needs met. For Pisces, it's a good time to take a step back and examine the last 20 months or so of your activities and try and figure out what you need to do in order to get your wants and needs met according to how you define it. It's going to take action on the part of Pisces. And lately they haven't really known what that action is, and I'd like to think that this eclipse will show them the way, will light up the way for them to do that. For Aries, it's a good time to reach a long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective through the help of your well-placed male friends and colleagues. And it is the type of thing that you cannot go it alone. If the Aries is smart, they will use their Aquarian friends to help the Aries get what the Aries wants. For Tauruses, it's in their 10th house of career and public standing, and they need to just kind of stay out of the line of fire. There are things going on around them professionally, none of it directly involving them, and so they just kind of need to sit back and be supportive and not choose sides until they see which way the chips fall, which is always a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
For Geminis, it's in their 9th house of the law, legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance. Something new comes to light that makes it easier for the Gemini to defend their position legally, which is good news for our would-be-leaguered president, because it's something that's been going on for almost a year, and it's kind of been nebulous and vague, and at least now they'll have a clear understanding of what their rights are, and that if the law's on your side, you want to use it. For Cancers, it's in the 8th house of other people's money, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago about money and the United States as a Cancer, and upheavals and change in the financial position of the United States, and you can see that with the stock market gyrations going on. And the best advice there is just stay the course. Don't panic over that kind of a thing.
Good news.
For Leos, it's about their public image and their public standing. And the Leo finds out that they have more allies than they thought they had, which is a very cool thing. And the allies kind of rally to the Leo side. So you can count on your allies to help the Leo put forth their own agenda, which is a very cool thing.
I like the sound of that.
And they look good while they're doing it, which is the nice thing. That's a very nice thing. For Virgos, not so much. For Virgos, it's hard work pays off. It's nothing but hard work, not particularly glorious, not particularly glamorous. It's a matter of if you do your job to the very best of your ability, you will get a good outcome. And that's what Virgos have to keep in mind, is simply staying the course and doing their job and not doing anybody else's job, just doing their own. Because Virgos think they can do everything better than anybody else, and they can't. For Libras, it's in their 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures, anything fun, anything romantic. Should be a good Valentine's Day for Libras in general. And for them, if they're single, they'll attract somebody, and if they're married, or they're attached, because Libras always are, that partnership goes very, very well for them. It's a very fun, gratifying, and fertile time for them. If they would like to have more babies, boy, this is the time to do it. For Scorpios, it's in their 4th house of home, and it's a matter of staying a little bit closer to home. There are some kind of matters that Scorpio needs to deal with at home. They haven't been able to do it over the last 2 or 3 years. Well, the time is now to do it, and do it right from the very beginning. And I think they can get their friends to help them do it, which would kind of be a nice thing. Have a painting party at my house is what I'm thinking.
There you go.
Yeah, not going to happen. Sagittarians, 3rd house of day-to-day living. The pace of their day-to-day living picks up to warp speed. Sagittarians had Saturn in their sign for 3 years and to stop them from doing just about everything. Well, those restrictions are over now. And now they get the chance to rehabilitate their day-to-day living and get it into something they can manage. Got a good schedule and easy to accommodate what their needs are. For Capricorns, it's in the 2nd house of money, and they're going to find a way to make more money. And this eclipse will show them the way to do that. And they really need to take advantage of any kind of financial opportunities that come their way because they're bona fide. If they get offered a job they should take it. If they're looking for a gig income, they should take that as well, because it will pay off for them. It will also allow them to use their creativity. And so that's it, because we started with Aquarius. So that's the 12 signs of the zodiac for the eclipse on Thursday, the Aquarius new moon eclipse.
All
and
right.
It's good news because it's not going to be here.
Sounded pretty good. We'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure.